Are you ready for the annual Social Connections Summit? It's happening August 5th and 6th. This year's summit theme is all about building trust and connecting authentically. That's in both your personal and professional life. Experts, coaches, and social wellness practitioners from all over are going to gather to this one spectacular event to help bring the joy of connection, community, and camaraderie to you. If in your personal life you feel unsupported with your current social circles, or if you don't have a group of peers that are close to you in age and share your interests and lifestyles, if you feel shyness or anxiety when meeting new people, this event is for you. It's going to help you improve your personal life. And in your professional life, if you feel more like an outsider than a team member in the workplace, if you feel like you don't have peers at work that know what's important to you, or if you feel like you always have to go along to get along, you need to be at this event. I promise you, you will leave empowered with skills and knowledge to create the social, emotional support that you need in both your personal and professional life. You don't have to just be friendly at work. You can actually be friends. Come find out how. Early bird tickets are on sale now until June 1st. Early bird ticket holders will receive a private, personalized one-to-one coaching session from up to 3 different coaches of their choosing. That's right, early bird ticket holders will receive private, personalized coaching. If you've been afraid to invest in a coach, this is your opportunity to test drive. If you want an experiential learning environment like none other, where you're going to gain insight from world-class professionals, be empowered by personality tests like the Enneagram and DISC assessments, and have an opportunity to network and share your experiences with others who feel exactly as you do, get yourself to the annual Social Connections Summit happening August 5th and 6th. Go to patternsof possibility.com to get your tickets, or check the link in the show notes. I'll see you there. Hey, what's going on? My name is Coach Lee Hopkins. My pronouns are he, him, his, and you're listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. This is a podcast dedicated to helping you replace harmful patterns with new possibilities. In each episode, we'll explore topics that inspire you to be yourself, live your truth, and make lasting connections. In this episode, we're going to talk about how bad rejection is and how much it sucks and how much you should avoid it at all costs, because that's not right. That's not what I'm saying. It's the opposite of that. Rejection is a part of life, and it doesn't have to be as terrible as we make it out to be. I'm going to share my take on what's important about it. Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, rejection is a part of life, and it doesn't have to suck. It doesn't. It doesn't have to be as bad as you believe it is. And yeah, you probably heard that before. Rejection is uncomfortable. Get over it. Do rejection challenges and all that thing. I get it. Yes, maybe you're tired of hearing that. Maybe you're frustrated with it. It doesn't feel good to be rejected, and it's pretty hard to get through. Understood. Yes, understood. But I want to offer you a reframe about this, because rejection is just not something that's going to stop. You are going to have to be able to handle rejection in 2 ways. You are going to have to be able to deal with when someone rejects you, and you are going to be the person to reject another. Get it? You're going to have to reject other people. And it's a useful and powerful tool in helping people and you discover who is really meant for you. So you may have heard something like rejection is redirection. It's redirection, and it sends you on a different path of your journey. And what's so hard, this is what we're going to step into the spiritual space for a moment, because I like to think about this as a spiritual space of rejection and some kind of higher power stopping you from getting the thing that you want, your current self wants. Your higher power, the more knowledgeable, whoever it is for you, the spirit, the guide, your God, whoever it is for you is really just giving you the signal and making things move in your world that you don't get the immediate desire met. You don't get it. So you want a cookie, you can't have it because it's stale. or your parents take it away from you as a kid. You don't get those things. And you have a meltdown because, oh my God, I really wanted it. It feels like rejection. And I guess my definition of rejection is the desire to have the thing, whatever it is, the event, the place, whatever it is, your desire to have that and having it taken away from you. That's what I believe rejection is. And that's the way I look at rejection. Whatever it is that you want, you do not get. Rejection. Rejection. Slam junk. No. Rejection. Slap that out of the air. Right? That's what rejection is. And it feels just like that. It feels awful because you could just see yourself. You can just imagine having those things. Like in the case of the cookie, I'm going to think about it as a warm, gooey chocolate chip cookie that just came out of the oven. And it's so enticing and you can just taste it. The smell has gotten to you and you could just taste it. You're drooling for it and it is so close, you touching it, and your parents or somebody says, no, you can't have it. And everything that you imagined about having that cookie melt in your mouth, about chewing it, it's gone. You have to let that go. You have to let that go. And that hurts because you've already imagined a world in which it happened for you. You've already imagined that you have this thing and you are enjoying it, but you don't get the thing and you can't enjoy it. You get the exact opposite and there are 0 things that you can do about it. It feels like there were 0 things that you can do about that experience that you just had with rejection. I like to liken that to connecting with other people. When they say no to you, they're not interested. They're not going to hang out with you. They don't answer your phone calls. They don't respond to your text messages. They leave them unread, right? They don't respond to anything that you do. You imagine that you're trying to have some kind of connection with them. You imagine what it's like to have a new best friend after you had a conversation with somebody for maybe 20 minutes and you just hit it off. You exchange phone numbers, you go home and you send them a text message and they don't respond. And you know it's read because you have an iPhone. You know they read it. They don't respond to you. And a day goes by and another day goes by and you're just like, that dream, that idea of you connecting with this person in the new best friend way is slowly waning. So you text them again and you see it's read and they don't respond. Another day or two goes by and they don't respond and it's rejection. Ouch. It's rejection. And I think about this in the spiritual term again as redirection, as there's something higher and more important and more powerful that's interfering with this connection. But you have to deal with it. You're the one who has to deal with it. You're sad because you believe that you were going to have something different. And now the world may get dark for you. And you'll be like, there's despair all around because no one is interested in me. I try to meet people. I try to connect. Look at me. I took the initiative. I exchanged phone numbers. I messaged them. I followed up. I did the things I was supposed to do. And slow down. That's me getting all excited here. I remember feeling that for myself. I remember feeling something like that for myself. Rejection. I'm not able to get the thing that I wanted in the moment that I wanted. I remember being really upset about those kind of events and throwing tantrums as if I was a 2-year-old. Just like, why? Why do they like me? Why? Why can't I connect with these people? What's wrong? What is it about me? I'm doing all the things I'm supposed to do. Well, I learned that connection just wasn't meant for me. For whatever reason, I don't get to know it now, but the connection wasn't meant for me. And this is what I want to present to you as the reframe of connecting, of rejection. Whatever it is that you think that you want from that other person, there's something better coming along. You may have heard that before. I don't know. You may have heard that before. And it's hard to believe it in the moment. It's hard to believe in the moment. But the task here, the skill, that you want to learn, because I believe that we're just here on this planet to connect with people and to learn about ourselves along the way. We're learning about ourselves. And so with rejection, we're always learning a skill, okay? And with rejection, we get the skill of patience. We get the skill of not spiraling, of controlling our emotions in this way, of being able to wait. Because if we have this instant gratification to get the thing that we want all the time, we won't want it. It's just a fact. That's how humans behave. If you have everything you want all the time, you just don't want that thing. You're always looking for something bigger and better. So we get to experience the highs and the lows. And when we're dealing with rejection, we experience that low. Oh man, dang, I didn't get the thing that I wanted right now. Sit with that feeling. Sit with it. Because the opposite of this feeling is coming soon, where you will find understanding, connection, and community. That's what happened for me. The people that I desperately wanted to connect with, they just weren't a good fit. Most of the time, I realized that I would just try to go along to get along. I was trying to be somebody who I wasn't to connect with these people. And I was really glad that they would reject me because, again, I would have to hide myself in order to be with them. And I would be miserable and I'd feel alone anyway. And I would say that's my higher self or God or spirit or whatever saying like, hey, this isn't what you want. Let it go. That's not what you want. Because I wasn't really aware of it until I came to really understand what it means to enjoy myself and have my own company. So that's one way to think of rejection. Rejection in that way of, there's something better coming along. And the mentality is to sit with the feeling of being rejected, right? Knowing that something better is coming along. The other piece of this rejection is to learn that you have to reject other people. You have to be able to do that. Now, as a person who didn't like rejection, didn't like feeling excluded, I had a hard time telling other people no. Because if I tell them no, then they're going to be mad at me. Or I tell them no, they're going to be sad. Like I would be sad if somebody rejected me. But here's the deal. If you're going to reject somebody, it's really a gracious opportunity for them to learn how it feels to not get the thing you want right away. They get the opportunity to learn. But also, more importantly, so if you're thinking about them, you're thinking about how they might feel about the experience that they're having. They have to learn. Everybody has to learn about rejection. So, hey, you get to be the person who teaches them. All right. So if you don't like that, if you want to focus more on you and your feelings about rejection and how you don't want to hurt their feelings, I want you to reel it in, because it's the most selfish thing in the world to not have them, in my own opinion. It's very selfish for them not to have their own feelings, for you not to provide those feelings. You're not being honest with them about your connection with them. You're lying to them about how you feel about them, because if you don't want to be around them, then you do not be around them. You let them go find people who actually want to be around them. When we're dealing with rejection, it's a very, very, very important lesson for all of us to learn. We need to learn how to handle it. We need to learn how to give people this lesson gently. And we also need to learn how to have the lesson for ourselves. The rejection is just so important. We have to know what it feels like not to have in order to know the joy of having it. So when you reject somebody, you provide them with an experience in which you tell them the truth. Everybody deserves the truth. You tell them the truth about how you feel so they're not believing in you when you could care less about them. And I don't want to say but I'm being dramatic. You don't really want them to be around. Let them go find somebody who really wants them around. Reject them. Now, I'm not saying be an asshole. I'm just saying speak the truth of how you feel. That is going to create a bigger and better connection between you. Even if you cannot be around them, even if they desire not to be around you or you desire not to be around them, they will know how you feel. That is the truth. So rejection is a part of life. Go out there and be rejected. Reject people in a kind, conscious manner. Okay? I'll be right back with the Reddit friendship advice question. What if there was a way to gauge how well your social connections are going to support you? Maybe you've listened to this podcast many times and you kind of wondered, maybe you think your friendships aren't that bad. Maybe you think that they can do better. Wouldn't it be great if there was a quiz or something to help you find out? Well, there is. And that's why I'm talking to you about it right now. Just go to patternsofpossibility.com and you'll find my quiz to gauge how well your social connections are going to support you. That's in your personal life and professional life. Aren't you at least a little bit curious? Go to patternsofpossibility.com and take your quiz to find out if they're going to be able to support you when you need them the most. All right, now it's time for the Reddit friendship advice question. If you have a friendship advice question that you think I should answer, tag me in it on Reddit. My handle is Brilliant and Resilient. That's Brilliant, the letter N, Resilient. Afraid of rejection. I'm thinking of reaching out to an old friend on Facebook, but I'm afraid they might not reply to my message or just not be interested in me anymore. I haven't spoken to the guy in a long time. I feel like just texting him, but worried he won't be interested. Should I just go for it and see what happens? Now, this one is really super short. Yes, I appreciate that you only wrote a couple of lines because I could just jump into this and say my own stuff. But basically, there's a fear of rejection here. Of course, that's what the title is. I'm afraid of rejection. It hurts. It sucks. It doesn't feel good. Nobody really wants to stick their hand into a fire. Nobody wants to do that. But you're thinking about reaching out to an old friend on Facebook. There's so many pieces here. I would say definitely at this current stage, I mean, as I would be like, yeah, go for it and see what happens. Because that's where I've been through the rejection piece and it's not easy, but you have to start somewhere. And I think that dealing with these past relationships and the distance that it creates when you have electronics between you. So what I would say is that it's more difficult to talk to somebody face to face and like have a real high emotional, intentional energy trying to connect with them and have them reject you or say no to your face is harder than doing this online. It's harder than reaching out to somebody that you've known for a very long time and you're a little afraid of the rejection. There's a different emotional intensity to it. And so since this is a less of an emotional intensity to somebody straight in your face, maybe yelling at you, no, get away from me, you're disgusting. That's not going to happen because you're doing it via Facebook. I would say go for it. And here's the thing. I would ask you, though, to consider, the purpose of you reaching out to them in the first place. Like, what do you want from them? Because none of that was here. None of it was here. What is it that you want from this person? What do you want to talk about? You just remember that you had a fun time together and you're like, oh, I was just thinking about you. I want to see what you're doing. Okay, this is what I'm doing. A conversation. I really would encourage you, if you want a real connection with this person, because this can just be an exercise in learning more about rejection, or if you're trying to reach out to this person and make it less about rejection and more about trying to authentically connect with this person, then there has to be a purpose for you to continue to carry on the conversation. Because they just say, hello, hey, it was nice to hear from you. It has been so many years. And then that's the end of the conversation. Then congratulations, you have done the thing with rejection. You have worked through it. But if you want something more to happen, and usually people do, there's a reason why you reach out for these people. You want something to be as it was before. Think about it. Present that so that you can continue carrying on the conversation. If you're reaching out to them because they're an ex and you want to rekindle the flame, that's a whole nother set of emotions, right? You're reaching out to them because you remember how awesome it was to play sports with them and you wondered what they're doing today. They may tell you, but then what? Then what else? You want to include them in something in your life? I just would like you to consider, what do you want from them? How do you want your connection with them to look? Think about that before you reach out to them. Because many times I've thought to reach out to other people. I've thought, wow, look, this person seems to be doing well. I want to reach out to them. But I think, for what? Then what? What did we do? There is something intentional about the connection that I want to have when I reach out to people. I want to know more about their lives. I want to share about their business. I want to be able to include them in my space. I want to know that I can make time for them in the future. Because here's what I believe, friendships and connections are for. I really want us to be understood. This is what I make the most time for, is people that I can grow with and understand. And if I only reach out to you every several months or every several years, you're going to miss a huge chunk of my life, because I'm transforming every single day. And I'm looking to keep in touch with those people. I really want to focus on those people. And so if you reach out to this person that you're afraid of being rejected by, what are you looking for? What are your traits are you looking for in this person, so that you can continue the connection, so you continue to grow close together? Because I think that's why people reach out in the first place on Facebook. They reach out because they want to see how things were before, and they want to recreate that past where we have changed so much. It's likely that you've changed so much from the past that you want to make sure that when you connect again, that there's space for you to grow together in the future. It's not that you're going to meet every several years and touch base. I mean, sure, if that's what you want to do, but I want, and I'm talking about strong social connections here, I want somebody that I can talk to more often than that. I want somebody who can hear my troubles, who can hear my triumphs, who can help me through it, and I could do the very same thing for them. So, being afraid of rejection in this case, of course, go for it. Have that experience with rejection. Sit with it after you feel, what was it that you wanted from them and why didn't you get it? Or how do you feel about not getting it? Write that stuff out. Have that experience. And then do it again. Do it again. And do it again until you get better at rejection. Don't forget that this is a part of life. So I hope you go for it. Redditor, thank you so much for asking your question. I know that you didn't ask me to answer it, but I did, and I hope that it helps. Best of luck to you. Take care. My name is Coach Lee Hopkins, and you have been listening to the Patterns of Possibility podcast. You can find me at patternsofpossibility.com and on all social media at Patterns of Possibility. And as always, I want to encourage you to be yourself, live your truth, and there you'll make lasting friendships.